We're lovely to see Joe Condon, who is from Early Onset Parkinson's Disease Ireland, or EOPD, and we call it EOPD during the interview. It's great to have you come in, and thanks for coming on the programme.
Thank you very much, Sean. Delighted to be here this morning.
It's great to have you here. Why start by telling us what Parkinson's disease is?
Parkinson's disease is a neurological condition. By the time most people realise they have Parkinson's, 70% of the dopamine is gone, which is used to manage movement,
right,
and different aspects of living with Parkinson's.
Everybody in a normal day has dopamine in their makeup.
You get the hit from dopamine. You get it's like when you have a win at a race or at something that. Dopamine kicks in. We don't have any dopamine. Our dopamine is reduced. We've lost 70% of the dopamine by the time we discover that we have Parkinson's.
Does it happen in midlife, early life, late life?
It happens at all ages. Okay. It's about 10% of people with Parkinson's are diagnosed before the age of 60.
Right.
And most
is there a difference between early onset Parkinson's and Parkinson's?
Early onset Parkinson's is Parkinson's before 60. Okay. It's people that are usually still working and have family commitments and are trying to build a career.
Right. How early?
I was 39 when I was diagnosed.
God.
There's people 18 being diagnosed with it.
All right. 18?
18.
Right. That's a challenge.
It's a challenge, but we have to...
Have you any stats on the amount of people who have Parkinson's in Ireland?
We've no statistics. We have only figures that we can take from the central statistics and the number of people that are going through the neurological centres and patient centres in Ireland.
Right. Is the treatment always medication?
One of the best treatments for Parkinson's is exercise, taken in conjunction with medication. But exercise usually reduces the onset of Parkinson's and helps reduce the stiffness.
Yeah.
And it helps people to live a good quality life. It's
a great leveller in most conditions, exercise.
Yeah. Exercise is good for whatever, mental, everything. Exercise is key for everybody in life.
Yeah. And you can see how having Parkinson's can affect your mental health. You can regress into yourself and all that. Exercise takes you out.
Exercise takes you out. You're meeting people. You're in a group. You've peer support. You've information. And you just, there's a bit of fun in exercising. We exercise here in Ger Conway's gym. We've Rock City Boxing here on a Sunday morning, which is great for people to get what's happening and
brilliant.
Just get exercise in for the day.
And then when you have it later in life, what about things like driving, holidays, employment?
They're all things you can drive, but you need to let your doctor know, you need to let your insurance company know, and you need to leave the driving authority know that you have Parkinson's.
Okay.
Usually you're fine, and as you progress, your doctor or your neurologist will give you a doctor's letter to say whether you are approved to drive or not.
Does that affect insurance?
It doesn't affect insurance, but you may have to get a doctor's letter, which will cost you that cost. But your insurance should not rise because of
that's good,
being diagnosed with Parkinson's.
And what about things like holidays?
Holidays continue on. The big question is, when you're going abroad, do you stick with the Irish time or do you move to the local time?
Yeah.
It's test and see is probably the best.
Okay.
If most people stick with the time zone they're used to and keep taking the medication that way. But go on holidays, enjoy life. We say enjoy life to the best
Absolutely. Does the sun affect you?
Other than that, from the medication, you seem to get sunburned a bit easier. I'm a redhead, so I get sunburned anyway, but it's just, you probably do get sunburned a bit easier. You'd be prone to skin cancer.
Okay, yeah. And what about employment?
Employment is a tricky one. You don't have to tell your employer unless you're doing a driving or something that you need to be you could impact somebody else. But as time goes on, you're going to have to tell your employer, because you probably have a huge tremor, or you'll have a tremor, and you'll have stiffness, and you look tired maybe at times. Plus, when you're trying to manage medication, it's hard to manage the medication and keep it hidden from your employer. So.
And either way, they probably notice anyway. That something's up.
They will, but if you're driving, you have to let your company know if you have a company car. So.
And tell me, if there's somebody out there who's just got a new diagnosis, what advice would you give them, having been there?
It's a big shock for you, but take your time, talk to your family, talk to your friends, talk to Early Onset Parkinson's, talk to Parkinson's Ireland, talk to Move for Parkinson's. Just take your time, look at what's your impacted, talk to your neurologist, talk to the Parkinson's nurses, and listen to what they have to say to you. But I think the one thing that I would encourage people is to take up exercise, or if they had an exercise that they really enjoyed when they were young, go back to that exercise. I'd imagine you feel like it's the end of the world initially. You feel it's like the end of the world, but the advantage is you have the honeymoon. A lot of people get the honeymoon period, which is 6 years, where once you start on a drug, it controls it for 6 or 7 years, up to 10 years. And then it's a slow progression condition for most people. The tremors, are they bad in a lot of people? Some people have tremors, some people have stiffness, some people have small handwriting. Okay. It depends on, no two people have the same type of Parkinson's, so it's what depends on what the person has. But tremor is a common sign of Parkinson's, or being stooped is another common. Okay, yeah. A small step would be another sign of Parkinson's. I actually have a tremor myself. It's not Parkinson's. It's just an unexplained tremor in my hands and in my voice. Yeah. Something you live with. You learn to get on with it. Yeah. And like that, the writing is dreadful. Yeah, and gets so small that... Yeah. I think that was the one thing that I didn't notice before I was diagnosed. If I'd known my writing had gone so bad that I couldn't read it myself. So. Yeah. It's... kind of a hard thing to get used to, isn't it? It's a hard thing to get used to. There's a major stigma with the condition as well. There is no cure for it. There is only where you're able to manage the condition and keep control of the condition. But there's no cure for it yet. We're still waiting for a cure. So. Yeah. Like if somebody was watching me, for example, I couldn't sign my name if somebody was watching me. Because I would be so conscious of the tremor that it would just be a scrawl. Yeah, no, we would be the same. So you understand where I am and where you are. Yeah. I've learned to write again, to be honest. Oh, good, yeah. Oh, that's a good thing, yeah? It's good. It's very interesting trying to learn how to write again. Yeah. And if you don't use it, you lose it, so you need to keep using it. Yeah. That's I never thought of it that way. Now, learn again how to write. Learn again. So I've spent the last 2 years learning how to write again. That's an interesting approach, okay. You get these books that have big writing and bring it down to smaller writing. And it does seem to work, so we'll keep it as long as we can. Yeah. We have seen people... superstars like Michael J. Fox, Muhammad Ali, who had Parkinson's, went on to live a long life. Yeah. Just accepted their condition and got on with it. Yeah, you get on. You have to get on with life.
Yeah.
You don't know what else is going to happen in life as well. So you have a condition. You have to live with it. Live your life to the best that you possibly can, and
that's it. Yeah.
Take care of yourself. Live a healthy, balanced diet.
Yeah.
Take stress out of your life.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Stress is a huge problem for people with Parkinson's. It really impacts them and just affects their quality of life, brings on the tremor, causes rigidity, just everything goes wrong. And sleep is the other key thing for people with Parkinson's. If you don't get a good night's sleep.
And does it affect your sleep?
It does affect your sleep big style, so you have to manage your sleep, keep routine, keep rooms dark, keep noise down in the room.
Yeah.
But
I suppose you don't have to sleep at night.
Yeah, well, you try to keep routine. Routine is the key. So
right.
But if you want to,
yeah. So if we get on then to the organisation, Early Onset Parkinson's Disease Ireland, when was that founded?
That was founded during COVID 2021.
Right.
It was founded because there was a feeling that there wasn't the services there for people diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's. There wasn't the awareness for people with Parkinson's. There wasn't to drive for government fundings, research, and all of that for people.
And was it founded by people with Parkinson's?
It was founded by people with Parkinson's. Who still are involved in the association today.
Brilliant. So. That's brilliant, isn't it? We find a lot. Now we've spoken to hundreds of organisations, and it seems to be people with the condition who start the organisation.
Yeah, I suppose you build a passion for the condition. You want to live the best quality life. The services aren't available, so somebody has to fight for them.
Yeah.
The person with the condition probably knows better than most people how to manage the condition and how to live the best quality of life.
Yeah, and you'll get great inspiration, I'd say, from that.
Yeah, and you get great support as well from the general public. I think it helps raise awareness by having the condition as well. Because of the comment that we get, we thought that was an older person's condition, and it's a condition that affects everybody.
Definitely not.
And it's the fastest growing neurological condition in the world now. So,
and it's amazing now breakthroughs have come.
No breakthroughs have come. I suppose when you look at it, the brain is the one organ that hasn't had a lot of research. It's very complex. A lot of research hasn't been completed on it yet. I suppose I would encourage the brain bank to be restored in Ireland so that research can be completed to see what can be done to help people with Parkinson's in Ireland.
So what kind of services do you provide then?
We provide information, support, advice, signposting, and anything that's happening, we will promote it. Public-private partnership is something we get involved in major for universities who are applying for funding. For research, we get involved with them. European grant funding, all of that. It's a key requirement for a lot of European funding now that you have a patient representative on the steering committee for the.
That's a big thing.
It's a big thing, but it's good because the people understand what is needed in research and can give steer to people that are living with the condition and to the people that are in research who are not familiar with the condition. They learn a lot from people with Parkinson's and how to help them live their life to the most.
Yeah.
But it's slow progress getting a cure or like the main drug
it will come eventually.
It'll come eventually. The main drug that we use is 50 years old. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not great. When you say information, I read through your website. I do that all the time. There's a vast amount of information on it.
There's a huge amount.
About the condition,
yeah,
and about the best way to address the condition.
Yeah, and that's constantly being updated.
Yeah.
It's keep information, keep the people informed, and keep it simple and easy for people to understand.
You also fundraise a lot.
We do. We have to fundraise.
Yeah.
There's costs to keep an organisation going.
Of course.
You have.
And have you anything upcoming?
We have a fundraiser on Sunday for Rocksteady Boxing to cover for insurance and rental of venues.
Yeah.
So that's coming up.
Very
we
good.
have the
Anything after that?
The mini marathon in June, I think, is it? And there'll be people putting up different events that are going on. Keep an eye on the website.
Yeah, the website is where to look for a meeting.
The website, our social media.
And you also get involved in advocacy.
We do get involved in advocacy. A big part that we're involved in at the moment is seeking funding for Beaumont and the Mater Hospital for DBS, which is a deep brain stimulation, which is used to treat people that are living with early onset and Parkinson's. It's a key aspect of treatment, and it's something that they need more resources in Beaumont, and they need new equipment to deliver more operations for people with Parkinson's and other conditions, and to reduce the length of time people are on the operating table. It can be reduced from 6 hours to 3 hours, which has to be an advantage. So
it sounds a very interesting approach. Yeah,
it's an interesting approach, but you have to keep pushing the government and all parties to, if you're not pushing them, you'll go down to the bottom of the pile. And with what's happening in the world at the moment, we have to keep pushing and pushing. So,
and one thing I thought was very nice, and some other groups tend to do this, is you have an online community.
Yes.
And that's, I suppose, is kind of a peer support thing.
It's a peer support thing, but it's the person's identity isn't showing up. It's for people to ask questions of their peers, of people that are interested in what's happening in Parkinson's, and get simple questions but get an answer to them. We have a frequently asked questions section as well, which gives you the questions that you might have as something that may happen to you as you live with the condition, and just to give peer support. A lot of people don't go public with being diagnosed with the condition, so this is a way that people can get the information without publicising it.
Okay. I think it's a very good way to provide information.
Yeah.
A lived experience is, much better than something in print. A lived experience will tell you what's in for you.
Yeah, we have a number of videos going up over the next week. Parkinson's Awareness Month is on. April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. For the next week, we will be putting up videos of people that have the condition and that explain what worked for them and what they see are the challenges, what works well for them, and what they need to live a good, healthy, happy life.
Brilliant. We're right at the end of our time. You'd be glad to know.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything else you'd like to put out there before we go?
I'd just like to raise awareness of the condition. We're there for people. Don't be afraid to contact us. All the details are on the website. We're on social media. Touch base with us and we'll get back to you. We'd love people to fundraise for us and raise awareness of the condition. And if you're living with the condition, stay positive and stay looking forward.
And just give out what the website is.
www.EOPD.ie.
That's EOPD.ie.
Yes,
And I can say there's a vast amount of information. Go and read it and include exercise in what you do.
Definitely.
Joe, thank you so much for coming on the programme.
Thank you very much.
You're very
Have
good.
a good day.
Thank you.